Hi, Dan Schaefer again, Democratic candidate running for the Missouri House of Representatives, District 97. So I apologize for not having a video for a while. I've just been really busy meeting lots of people, knocking on doors, making lots of phone calls, doing speeches, also doing a lot of graphics work for lots of different graphics things that are needed, like literature cards or newspaper ads. Also doing some audio work for radio commercials. And although I'm getting a lot of help with knocking on doors and things like that, most of the creative stuff I'm just doing myself. And that's very time consuming. But here I am. So I have something to talk about today. It's over the last 24 hours, I've had some pretty interesting things happen. Yesterday, I went out to meet Mary Elizabeth Coleman. Now, if you know anything about Missouri politics, you would know who Mary Elizabeth Coleman is. She's a senator for District 22, which is actually my district as well. And she's extremely conservative. In her own words, she's the most conservative person she knows. I would say she's almost like extremist conservative. And so when I went to meet her, I was with a lot of trepidation, like, I'm not so sure I'm going to buy everything that she's selling. And I was right. I don't buy everything that she's selling. But there are some things that she said which are pretty good, I think fairly progressive. And so I latched on a few of them, and I told her, I said, hey, if you're going to pursue this, I can get behind that. Now, it's not like I'm, going into the enemy camp or anything like that, but a good idea is a good idea, no matter who comes up with it. And if someone comes up with what I think is a good idea, I'll definitely get behind them. Anyways, after that meeting yesterday, I had some guy knock on my door. He was opposing Amendment 3 in Missouri. Now, if you know about Amendment 3, it's the reproductive rights amendment, which basically tries to restore reproductive rights, which was removed after the Roe v. Wade reversal a couple years ago. And we got into this heated discussion about paragraph 5, which I'll read to you shortly. And then this morning, I went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting. My Republican opponent showed up for that. Nice guy and everything, but we differ on a lot of things. And one of them is Amendment 3, and he tried to tell the same lie that this guy told me yesterday when he knocked on my door. And it may not be a lie, but it certainly is not the truth. So I don't know, somewhere in between. But it goes like this. First of all, let me read you the language of Amendment 3. Paragraph 5 specifically is what I'm going to focus on, because that's what everybody else seems to be misleading you about. I'm going to read it verbatim, and then I'll talk about it on the back end. Here it is. No person shall be penalized, prosecuted, or otherwise subjected to adverse action based on their actual potential perceived or alleged pregnancy outcomes, including but not limited to miscarriage, stillbirth, or abortion. Nor shall any person assisting a person in exercising the right to reproductive freedom with that person's consent be penalized, prosecuted, or otherwise subjected to adverse action for doing so. Okay, that's a mouthful, and it's a lot of legalese. I personally had to read it several times to really kind of fully grasp it. No, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV. Although, as I mentioned in a previous video, I had to act as my lawyer one time, which is pretty interesting. And I won my case too, by the way. But getting back to this Amendment 3, what that paragraph basically says is that a doctor or any medical professional or assistant cannot be penalized for helping you exercise your reproductive freedom. But the way that a lot of people like to twist this around is to say that a doctor or any other medical professional or assistant cannot be held liable for malpractice. In other words, if the doctor shows up drunk for the procedure and botches everything, you cannot hold him or her responsible for it. That is complete BS. And I keep telling people this. That's complete BS. That's a story that the anti-Amendment 3 people are trying to spread, saying, oh, no, you don't get to sue your doctor if he or she botches the procedure. Basically, the language in paragraph 5 focuses on protecting people from being penalized or prosecuted based on the reproductive outcomes for assisting others in exercising their reproductive rights. Okay, it does not mention protection from civil lawsuits such as those for malpractice, nor does it shield healthcare providers from consequences if they fail to meet professional medical standards of care. In other words, Amendment 3 is not having you sign away your rights. There is no document, constitution or statute or whatever across the nation that would have you sign away your rights. Okay, and that's precisely what the anti-Amendment 3 people are trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you that If you go in for a medical procedure, abortion, or whatever, and a doctor botches the job and kills you, or makes you infertile for the rest of your life, that they can't be held responsible, even if they show up drunk for the job, right? I mean, that's just absolute BS. So don't believe any of that stuff. There's a lot of misinformation, and I would encourage you to go back and read the amendment paragraph by paragraph. If you're not a lawyer like me, you probably have to read it a half a dozen times before you really sort of grasp it. And if you still have any problems with it, go consult a lawyer and find out, get a professional opinion on it. Maybe get 2 professional opinions so you can compare them. Okay, so that's just some of the misleading information associated with Amendment 3 out there. And I advise you to be pretty skeptical when somebody tries to interpret the law for you. By the way, this is not a law, it's a constitutional amendment, but you know what I mean. Anyways, again, Dan Schaefer, Democratic candidate running for the Missouri House of Representatives, District 97. Thank you for your time.